What up, what up? This is your boy Checo.
This is your boy Noe. What up?
And this is Compas Unfiltered. Thank you guys for listening, for watching. Make sure you guys follow all of our social media, subscribe and like.
And make sure you go rate us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Make sure you drop a comment on YouTube. Like and subscribe.
Yes, sir. Enjoy the episode. Talk about it too if you want.
I was like, did you really like that one?
No. It was more so like, puro pedo esto, like.
I'm trying to remember what the first one was.
Sure, that one. So we could.
The first one?
Yeah. No, the Jesus one.
Oh, okay. Hold on now.
This is undeniable proof that Jesus is real. Historians found the robe that Jesus walked the earth with, and people travel from all over the globe to come and see it, but that's not all. They say that these are the scriptures that Jesus read from when he was on the planet, and these are the nails that they put through his hands and through his feet. But this last one will shock you. This is the cloth that Jesus was buried in, and they even got an outline of his body. This is a close-up on his face.
That's bullshit.
No?
No.
Would this spark
Like how-
conversation? No, right?
I mean,
No, I was just like, I
yeah,
don't think
this
it's
is a bunch
true.
of. First of all, and like people that actually read the Bible, the picture that they showed there is some record of like a guy saying, like, this artist that actually painted himself as Jesus. Like, that's what artists used to do before, because there was no reference of, like, let me sit and paint you. So before art became art, it was like more of like a documentation sort of a thing. So artists would figure out ways to put themselves, because you wouldn't sign your work before, so they would put their faces somehow in the paintings. And I think that's what the vision of Jesus that we have now. But in the Bible, they literally describe a man with darker skin and coarse hair.
Were you supposed to be like Egyptian, no?
I mean, I'm not going to pretend that I know, but there's something to that. Yeah. So this picture of this white guy with long, like flowy hair, it's a myth
that's what we imagine now,
yes,
right?
Because
That's like
we're comfortable with that vision. So now that you're going like that guy, like, oh, this is the vision. Well, no, that's kind of bullshit, because an artist like there's documentation of a guy that says, like, you go to the Louvre or you go to Paris where they have like those super old paintings, you have baby Jesuses with like different weird adult faces, because they're like, these are the faces of the el que los pintó to sign his work.
Okay, maybe this was a good conversation. All
Well,
right.
yeah, well, you know,
That's funny.
it's on the pod now.
That's
but-
fine. Whatever.
But no, yeah. Well, I mean, when I saw it, I just thought, I was like, it's bullshit.
Yeah,
'Cause,
I
like,
didn't know it's bullshit. How are you gonna know?
Yeah.
Well, like, this is Jesus. Like, did he sign it? Like, I am Jesus. This is my clothes. Motherfucker, you might be some like super old stuff from like some period long ago.
Well, you said that nails were there.
But does that even look like nails?
I think they were corroded.
Well, obviously, but I'm saying it still doesn't have that form of
But
like.
That's exactly what it would be.
I mean, they would have destroyed anyone's hands. What was he, like Goliath? Like, what was the?
Well, if you
That's
think
true.
about
That's
it,
fucking
his
huge.
weight, if you put a regular nail, homie, it's not going to
Well,
hold
not
its
like-
weight to the ground. You feel me? Like, I don't feel like we should be talking about it like this.
But wouldn't it like rip?
like
rip
through his whole
right through
head.
his whole
I
thing.
mean, I'm not saying you're gonna put like a drywall nail on there, but like that thing, like, yeah, it would
I
have.
think what you would want is that big piece and then the big head for the head to hold.
Like the whole-
Yeah, to hold. And I'm
I
pretty,
mean, maybe
well,
that's
I don't,
valid.
There
That-
is bone. So,
I mean, there's not that much bone. There's like little, like your metacarpal.
but this should be enough, no?
There's like cartilage. This is like more cartilage
Yeah.
than bone. This is bone.
Okay, doctor. I don't know. I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, a
Metatarsal?
regular nail that you guys are picturing, but
Yeah, no, that's
I mean,
not
I wasn't
gonna-
picturing a regular nail.
it's not going to hold them. I'll just tell you right now.
You know, just drywall nails.
Yeah. Y'all wildin',
so
bro.
dumb.
I don't feel comfortable right now. This is worse than the witchcraft talk that we were talking about. the other
No,
day.
it's
To that,
not.
we have to do.
We
Well,
do
we have
gotta
to
do
that for
one.
Halloween. We have to.
I don't know about we have to. Bro.
No, but I do want to do a pod for Halloween.
Yeah,
that's
no.
like for sure, like in the plans.
Yeah, no, we have.
But like I told Noah, I don't know about my house, dude, because like So I had that dream. I don't know if did you hear listen to the pod where I had like a weird dream. I had a dream after we recorded. The camera kept on. No, while we were recording, the camera kept on turning off. It turned off twice.
Twice, yeah.
Like in the process of us recording, I'm like, what the fuck? So I had to like stop and check it, change the battery and whatnot. So I had a dream, and this dream was of like my grandma passed away. She used to live with us, and she used to stay in this back room. So I had this dream where like my grandma was facing like the window. She's like in a rocker. And then out of nowhere, she just like starts climbing the walls. But at that point, it's like, that's not my grandma, you know what I mean? And it would scare the fuck out of me. So she's like chasing me throughout the house, and I run to my room, but she can't get into my room. Like something is stopping it to get into my room. But I haven't had that dream since my grandma passed away over 15 years now.
Dude, that's freaky.
And then that came back after we started doing that.
After that, yeah.
Not to mention the cameras have never shut off like that. We've had other technical difficulties, but nothing like that. Dude. And then out of nowhere too, because this has been our setup now for a little bit. Over 6 months for sure, with no issues of any camera shutting off.
I don't fuck with shit like that. I mean, I am like super into it, but like I wholeheartedly like mis respetos because you never know what shit's out there.
This fool sent me a TikTok of like, was it you that sent me that TikTok where it says like, don't have any welcome signs.
Oh,
yeah. That was a wild one.
The welcome mat. I had, and I know better because I know better, but I had a welcome mat, and Nicole and my daughter and I were talking about it. I went to go get it. I'm like, you are not welcome. Like my friends are welcome because they know that they're welcome. Like there will be no visible sign telling.
So he sent me that TikTok of that person saying like, hey, don't play with that stuff. And like, this is how you would invite people. Like, don't invite those things to your house. If you have a welcome sign, if you have and I went out there and I forgot what I said, trying to be funny. And then I actually go out there and I'm like, dude, I have a welcome one and some other shit. I'm like, hell no.
Yeah. And I have a broom, an upside down broom. It's like those little like brooms.
That's like superstitious, no?
Like that's like supposed to like any negative, even people that that come in, like any of that negative like juju, like it keeps them out, or if it'll make them feel uncomfortable to where like they'll be like, you know what, yeah, like I'll it's time, like I'll go, like they kick themselves out basically. I have 2 of those by the door.
2 brooms. Do people know why they're there?
No, because they're like, if you've come by the house, they're like in a little corner where the dining room is. Like they're right there. I don't know if they know, and I don't care.
We went on Halloween and your house looked crazy as hell, so I didn't notice the brooms.
Oh wait. Okay. So do you want to do the Halloween episode on my house? I'm gonna have a sick setup in the front yard. We could do it outside in the front yard.
I'm down,
dude.
Before
I
forget, you were talking about the upside down broom.
Yeah.
We used to have upside down horseshoe.
Oh.
This guy.
You know about the pineapples, right?
I didn't know.
I did. Well, I mean, I found out, but yeah.
Oh, how did you find out?
Like TikTok or something.
Yeah.
It was like
I had heard some podcasts about swingers a long time ago. It's been like a thing. So I love pineapples, my favorite. And when I was going through infertility, like IVF, they tell you because of the bromelain in the pineapple, it's supposed to like help you. And then when you search stuff, like it pops up and like more pineapple, like, oh yeah, it's like the symbol for swingers. They call them pineapples, and I was like,
but I don't get the whole upside down pineapple. It looks like
why?
Yeah, no, but they say it looks like.
Oh, it's supposed to be upside. That I didn't know.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be upside down.
Oh, okay.
And it kind of like symbolize. Not that it symbolizes, como que it resembles the. I don't know if the couple. I don't know what it. Somebody said that, but I don't know. But I found out because my cousin, she was making jokes about upside down.
Cousin swinger?
I don't know, but she's like upside down pineapple or whatever. She's making jokes and shit. I'm like, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. She's like, you don't know, like, and she said the same thing. It's all over TikTok, dude. Like,
yeah, I think.
Okay, I was gonna say that's not a lot of things you'd be like, you didn't know that, but like that's not one thing I would tell somebody like, oh, dumb, you're dumb, you didn't know that.
When it's popping on TikTok like that,
I think, but I mean, you also have to remember that TikTok te enseña. Oh, this is another thing for your prima. Shit pops up when you start going into certain avenues. So not everybody sees the same, unless the TikTok blows up, that it's on everybody's For You page. Not everybody is seeing the same TikTok.
Damn,
so
what's her algorithm, bro?
What's your algorithm, man?
Yeah,
snap. What does she own, bro?
Black Halls and upside down pineapple.
We're over here like, don't put a welcome mat outside.
Saludazos.
So
but where were you going with that? With
It wasn't an upside down pineapple. It was an
I
upside
know,
down
I
horseshoe.
fucked it up for you. But
Nah.
what?
he said horseshoe.
Yeah, a horseshoe.
Oh, horseshoe.
También como que, I guess bad juju. I've never said that
Yeah.
before, but yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Como que las malas vibras.
I think
las
that's
malas,
like a Latino thing. That like I've seen the horseshoes.
My
and
wife
I've seen
took it down,
The
though.
cross because they put like at the threshold, the very top. Siempre,
Yep.
like if you
Oh,
go
yeah,
to
yeah,
old
yeah.
school, like Mexican houses, they have the cruz.
That's what
up
we have
there.
in my house.
Yeah.
Well, she took the horseshoe down and she put it across. I'm like,
Yeah. I mean,
same
it's
thing.
supposed to. I think like stuff like that, like whatever makes you feel good about the vibe of your home.
Of your home? Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't bother me. The horseshoe was fine. Reminded me of Mexico.
Yeah.
It went with the pictures along the stairs.
It's cool.
But the broom, is it like any regular broom? Like kind of like puedo agarrar una del dólar?
Yeah, I
Put
think it
up,
could be
okay.
any broom. The ones I have, I like them. They're from and I just discovered them last year. So I went to Trader Joe's. I don't go to that store. It's too expensive and it doesn't have anything. Pero tenían
Oh,
las
bougie.
tenían las
Yeah.
escobitas. They're like little and they're cute. They look like old school, like
Like witch brooms?
yeah,
Like those like
they're like the hay. They're
Like
just
hay,
like
yeah.
really
Paja
old
or
school.
whatever. Yeah.
But then they smell like cinnamon.
oh
And they're
okay.
short. They're like cute. So they look like almost like a little bit of decor. And they're kind of just there. But yeah, I got 2 of those suckers and I'm like one in the front door, one in the back door. You come to my house, like we're not vibing. It means you gotta go.
You gotta go.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
I don't know
the
if it
cinnamon
works,
probably
but-
helps too.
Yeah, and
I think
yeah.
cinnamon's supposed to keep like insects away too or something.
Oh, is it really?
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
I don't know.
I'm
It
probably
smells
making
good.
shit up. I heard it somewhere. Though.
Motherfuckers gonna be coming at you, bro, at TikTok,
know,
bro.
right?
Speaking
That's
of
probably where I heard it.
Speaking of TikTok, I think we kind of went a little bit far, into our convo. But our guest today, welcome to Compas Unfiltered, Paula from Paula Knows Something, Everything.
Welcome again. Welcome again.
Welcome back.
Thank you
Welcome
very
back.
much. Hello.
But yeah, we just kind of went into TikTok. So TikTok, to our standard, like I said, it blew up, right? Like the one clip that we put of you, that was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Like I have the notifications on. I know you turn them off, compa Noy.
Yeah, I don't have them on.
Pero
I never have though.
dude, it was insane when we put that clip out of you and the topic that we were talking about. But I woke up and it was like 99 plus notifications, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like, dude, this is going insane right now.
Did you get scared? You're like, oh, I'm about to get canceled. What's happening?
No. I didn't think I was gonna get canceled, but I was kind of like, oh snap, like this is insane, this is crazy, like how fast. And we've talked about like, oh, maybe this clip will go, or maybe this clip or whatever, and we're like, man, we just can't figure it out. Like we're just gonna put stuff that we like or whatever, and whatever goes off, But you seeing yourself out there and seeing like the view, seeing the comments, seeing the likes, like how did you feel about it?
It broke my heart because you have so many things that you put out that are like funny and that's the stuff you want to go viral.
Right.
To blow up, right? Because it's like something for a good reason. Like this is not the kind of thing. I mean, I'm glad it did because it's a good message.
100%.
But it breaks your heart, the reason.
Or how many people are being affected.
If you see
They can
all of those
relate,
comments, it was like, I get contacted. I mean, I don't have the notifications on because I just go on there to see videos. I don't really have like content.
Right.
And when I go on there, like, after my work day is done, I've done all the stuff at home and I sit there like to scroll. It's just like hundreds and hundreds of messages and people just like asking, like, how did you get through it? And I went through it too and nobody listened to me. And then just telling you they're like, besides all of the stories that people are putting on your page, it's just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Well, you get to see the people that are also like, I did speak up and like they ignored me or nothing happened or they're like, shh, don't say nothing or you know what I mean? I'm like, dang.
I'm 40, so I'm 40 years old. And looking at all of the people in the different comments, they're younger.
Yeah.
I mean, some people are my age, older, but from their pictures, they're so much younger. So it's still happening. And it's just like, you're like you said, I said something and they told me to, no, you didn't. That didn't happen to you. Or forget that happened to you. Or Don't say anything because this is going to break up the family. You're going to upset your dad. You're going to upset your tia. You're going to upset your grandma. There's this one that really upset me. Like, don't say anything. Like, grandma's really sick. Well, let the bitch die.
Damn.
If that's if that's her kid, that's the kid that she raised, then, sometimes parents have nothing to do with the way that their kids turn out. But if this is what's going to kill grandma, then let the bitch die. Because you're going to hurt a child and somebody just starting their life because this old person can't take the piece of crap that they raised and hurt a kid. That's going to hurt them more than the damage they just set on this individual for a lifetime. Like you guys and I were talking about how with your notifications, how, you had to put them away because it was just too taxing, too mentally strenuous. People that have been sexually assaulted and abused, anyone, men, women, whether it happened to you in your teens, 20s, 30s, 4 or 5, you live with that every single day. You don't get to walk away from that.
100%. And
the way that the people were expressing, like just literally like pouring themselves out, like to me, every time I get to talk about this, I feel like part of that weight is lifted every time. I don't feel ashamed. Like when that video started blowing up like that, I talked to my daughter, I talked to my husband, and I let them know, like, hey, this is out there. They know I talk about this. And as my daughter has gotten age appropriate every year, I share more and more with her. She knows about my assault because number one, it's not something that I'm ashamed of. I did nothing wrong, but it's for her to be wise and realize that we can't trust everybody. And as a woman or as a young person, whether you're a young man, you're a young lady, you have to be careful with the people that you're around, whether they're family or not. And so I told both of them, hey, like this is out there. And they were just worried for me. Like my husband's like, I'm so proud of you. I sent it to my family. They're like, wow, they know I talk about this, but like, when you expose yourself like that to people, you just never know.
That was going to be my next question to you. Like, cause it sounds like Checo said earlier, like to our standards, like it blew up, but we take it for granted because you keep seeing all these videos do 3 million views, 1 million views, millions and millions of views. 134,000 people that know, what happened to you. And that's a lot of people.
But I'm glad because it's when somebody, that there are other people in the world that this has happened to, unfortunately. But when you see somebody say it out loud, it almost gives you permission to be okay with saying it out loud after so many years of people that are supposed to protect you and love you to tell you to shut up. Yeah. This didn't happen to you. Don't say this out loud. Don't repeat it. Having somebody that shared your experience say it out loud, like makes you feel better and makes it okay to say, you know what? And if you see on there, they're like saying these people's names and they're asking us like, can you redo this clip in Spanish? I want to send it to my abuser. And there was this husband on there that said, the names of the men that assaulted his wife when she was younger.
Yeah, I did see that one.
And so that kind of stuff, it's like, if you're reading it for morbid curiosity, God help you. But if you're reading it because maybe you're just not ready just yet to share your story, and that helps. And I think people were like talking to each other like, this happened to me, I'm so sorry that this happened to you, somebody should have protected you, you're not alone, like we are with you. That is so powerful, like what you guys did, putting that out there, because not a lot of people would, because they'd be afraid of the backlash, because you never know what direction those videos are going to take.
Right. And Checo was one of the first, I sent them the clip and I said, what do you think? And he's like, dude, I would check in with Paula first, because we don't know how that video is going to,
Mm-hmm.
get viewed and stuff like that, So, and we definitely didn't know it was going to do what it's doing now. And like, it's still going up and people comment every day. But you asked us as Checo, if we were scared, if he was scared of what it was happening. Were you scared? Like seeing all these people see, you tell your side of the story, or you tell your story, or what happened? No.
I would send it to that piece of shit if I knew like he had whatever. Like I didn't think of that when I saw so many people saying it. I would send it to that piece of shit. But no, I wasn't, because I think personally I went through the toughest part of my life, like as a child, when that was happening to me. So there's nothing around that anyone can say to hurt me. In fact, there were a couple, not many, but there were some comments of people saying like, you have to forgive. That's the Christian thing to do. What was that other one? I don't know. That's not true. That doesn't happen in every Mexican family. Stop saying that it's every Mexican family.
Like making us look better.
Yeah.
Right.
And
but you didn't say that though.
And I didn't say that. I said, I'm sure it happens in many communities, but I'm not a part of every community. I'm part of my community, which as a Mexican female presenting person, I can speak from my experience. I'm not speaking for you or your family. And they were very offended. Like, I know this didn't happen to my first cousin, my second cousin, my third cousins. And I'm like, damn, that's really sad.
That you know of. And I think when they were saying that, I think they were maybe referring more to me, because I did say Latino as a Mexican.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I did notice people were like, well, it happens in this community as well.
Yeah.
It happens that community. And then I did see that one comment.
Yeah.
So I think it was more towards because of I said Latino or Mexican.
No,
you know
but
what I mean?
It's not even that.
But,
if I think when I saw comments like that, and it's very easy to take it like, oh, like they're offended. I didn't take it like that when people said it happens in the Asian community too. It happens in the Black community. I took it as a sounding board, like, hey, listen to us. Like, this is happening to us too.
Yeah, like it happens everywhere, pretty much.
Like, which great. Let's talk about it, because in a lot of minority communities, you don't talk about this because we're taught like, there's so many things happening around us. We have to be normal. We have to appear to be what our white counterparts, which I'm sure that community is like, but we want to disassociate from where we come from so bad to appear to be normal and to go with the flow of what this country is supposed to be. You don't want to disrupt anything, and you don't want to make the Mexican community look bad, right? And again, I'll speak for our own community because I'm not a representative of the Asian community, the Black community, et cetera, et cetera. So in our community, that's what you see, and from those stories, what does that tell you? Whether you had like, people from Guatemala, Colombia, all across the board, they can speak for themselves in that scenario. Like we were talking about personally from our perspective. And so, but it's sad, the fact that how many people, like, it happens over here too. It happens over here too, over here too.
Yeah.
That's awful.
And then also to think about like all the people that still can't talk about it or have never even spoken about it to their parents, to anyone, and they're still silent, and who probably went in the comments and actually told their story for the first time. So something like this happened to me. I've never talked about it just because I was never, ever comfortable. And I'm still not comfortable talking about it. But at the time, I mean, I was only probably 6 or 7 years old. And the only thing is, it wasn't, it was these like kids from like the neighborhood that were older. You know what I mean? But it wasn't, how can I describe it? They didn't touch me, you know what I mean? But they put us in a situation where they made other kids, girls, do things, which now it's like, you reflect, as you get older, you reflect and you're like, that was so fucked up. And some of these girls that were doing stuff, it was like it wasn't their first time. It's like, it was almost kind of like, I just kind of walked in on it. For me, like I was kind of like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on? But and they were almost kind of, I mean, because they're young, they don't know, and they were almost kind of like okay with it, which I'm sure now they're probably like, what the fuck? they do to me.
Right. Because as a kid, you don't know.
You don't. And at least in my neighborhood, my community, it was like, all the kids hang out, we all play in the front yard and whatnot. Everybody knows everybody. So it was almost like you're comfortable going to so-and-so's house. I mean, that's just how it is. When I was living in Chicago, like you go to tal y tal's, la casa que whatever, like, I don't know, maybe our parents were just kind of like, oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I know so-and-so's mom. But it's like now that I, like, that I have nieces, I don't have kids, but I have nieces and whatever. I'm just like, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, I think about all that when I hear, like, not anymore, but like, oh, yeah, let me sleep over so-and-so's house. I'm like, like, I'm not your dad or your mom. I can't say anything. I'm like, but I'm inside. I'm just like, fuck that. You know what I mean? I've seen too many things. But like I said, maybe in another episode I'll talk about it, but I can relate. And that's why also, like, I couldn't read through all those comments. Like, because it would also, like, I was like, that's why I hate, like, when I watch a movie, anything like that, it's like, and I see anything in that kind of a nature, it fucking irks me. It upsets me like crazy. And that's why it's like, if I were to ever see, like, in public or anything like that, I would fucking go irate, But I can relate. I can, to all the people that were commenting. But, I just, I couldn't read through all of it, me, myself, personally,
Yeah, no, it's hard. And the thing is, everybody is at a different part in their journey. Not everybody is ready, and you shouldn't have to. Like, in the comments, you had people saying, like, I want to say their name, but I can't. Like, I'm still scared. Like, who would know, right? Among all those comments like that, maybe a family member. No, most likely not. But, and I was telling people, you don't have to be ready. Like, you don't have to be where everyone else is or where you have to follow your own journey, because if you rush it, that can also be very damaging. You don't have to talk about things that you're not ready to talk about. Not everybody is there. And maybe you'll never get there. And that's okay too. Because everybody has a different journey and a different timeline for healing. And the reason I talk about it is because when I started to talk about it, that was helpful for me. When I first felt brave enough to say, hey, this happened to me, I think it was like a couple of years after, maybe. If it had been happening for about a year, maybe 2 years, I was still under 10 years old. My mom's life was threatened. My mom was pregnant at the time. And so I was told, if you say anything, like, not only I'm going to hurt your mom, like, she's pregnant, so you're going to kill your baby sibling. So when I finally said, like, I don't know how or why, and I know I had younger siblings already there. And so I was terrified, like, this heavy pressure of, like, what if something happens to them? At some point, like, that realization kicks. Like, I don't know if I noticed him looking or what it was. And I said that, like, I have to say something. And the reaction of the family, like you saw in many other comments, and this is a reason why it's so difficult to say anything, especially if you're young. I had, we weren't going anywhere for a while. This guy was still being invited to everything, being welcomed with open arms. And I had an idiot aunt who doesn't drive, and my mom would help her with so many things. So we finally stepped out and went to this party at this aunt's house. And she waited for my mom to go buy her milk because she didn't have any milk. Waited for my mother to go to the store to grab me, put me in a room. She grabbed me by my arms and she shook me. And she told me, you have to tell me what happened to you. Like she wanted a play-by-play of exactly what happened, because she had daughters too. Like, as an adult now, how sick. Like, you are my aunt. You're supposed to protect me. You're supposed to be part of my village to protect. Mm-hmm. And instead, you further traumatized and assaulted me. So fuck all those people. And that's why people don't talk. because you keep re-traumatizing children after they're like brave enough, like they're like this big and they're still like ready. And that's why people are afraid to talk after 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, because you never know, like the snakes in the grass, and they're in your own family.
What was the relation, and I don't know if you could say it, of the
individual?
Yeah, to that lady.
Brother. Huh. Yeah. It's in your own, like this. Sometimes like you don't have to worry about strangers. Like, yes, stranger danger. But yeah, it's in your own family. I don't let my kid buy anybody. You just, yeah, it's crazy. Like, and women too. Like, I want to make that very clear. Women assault young girls, young boys. Women are very capable of also being the aggressors. And children, that's a big thing that people are making a note of in the comments. Like, what happens when you know that a younger child is assaulting other kids, other younger kids, like what you were, you know. Kids, it happens too. And they're like, oh no, you're going to ruin their life. Well, what about the life that they just ruined of that younger cousin or sibling?
And the most fucked up thing is that most likely it probably happened to them. So it's a cycle that just never stops, right?
Yeah. And so by hushing everybody, what are you really protecting? Who are you really protecting?
Yeah.
So it's a never-ending cycle, and it's uncomfortable, but it's something that we have to face head on, and we have to talk about it. Otherwise, it's never going to stop, and we're going to keep raising generations of people that have been traumatized that will continue to inflict trauma upon other people.
As you can see, we're speechless.
Yeah, no,
you know, this is definitely a heavy subject. The fact that we're talking about it, like you said, that's the progress. You know what I mean? The fact that we are talking about it, the fact that that video is doing numbers and people are expressing how they feel and letting out, you know, a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
no,
I feel
it
like,
matters.
Yeah, for sure.
And I appreciate you guys putting that out there, because not a lot of people would, because they'd be afraid, or they're not ready, or people still don't believe that any of this is real. Mm-hmm. It's not true. This isn't really happening in the quantity that people are alluding to. And as you can see, it is. And if you've seen the people in those comments, I mean, you have some really big creators in your comment section. I don't know if you noticed that. You have some verified people in that comment section saying the same thing. Like how your video found these people and they're saying like, this happened to me too. That's big. And one of those people, she actually went ahead because she said in the comment section that she this happened to her when she was young, and she was brave enough to say the name and to say who, and she's like, guess who was punished? And she went ahead to then affect the reach that she has to put out a video of sort of not the whole story, but that this also happened to her. Mm-hmm. So now she's reaching a whole other audience and opening that conversation. Like what you guys did, it's not just a video that is doing like, you know, numbers. It's really affecting change, and it's like opening up people with larger platforms to also start that conversation among their communities and the people that they reach. It's amazing.
We didn't do it. You did it. Yeah. So we appreciate you. Thank you
for opening up.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. Yeah, we just used a clip. But yeah, at the end of the day, you know, it was you. It's your story.
It's your story.
And that's what touched a lot of people. And,
thank you.
And, you know, we definitely appreciate it. Like I know he said, man, obviously we're speechless. It's definitely a tough subject to talk about, and honestly, I don't even know how we move forward from here because we had some other things kind of planned.
Yeah, I know. Like I gotta all down now.
Well, yeah, it's like, man,
you know what though? Okay, that's the thing too, right? It's a somber thing, but also it's a thing that should be celebrated, you know, and it's okay. sometimes I talk about it and I'm laughing, and sometimes I'm crying, and sometimes I'm really mad, and it's like a cycle of emotions. It's never like a one-time thing, and it's okay. Like it's okay to talk about it, and I could say, you know what, I'm kind of done right now. I've kind of tapped that, and then move on to the next thing. It's not something like, I have to feel like, okay, I already talked about it. Now I have to like cry for the next 5 other hours. Otherwise, it's not genuine.
No.
Well, I feel like you could say that. I don't.
No, we can't.
We can't say that. Like, but I understand what you're saying. I see where you're coming from.
But no, it's like, for me, honestly, I appreciate the platform to be able to speak about it even further, to facilitate that conversation. And if people want it in Spanish, I don't know. That's up to you guys. Like, kid you not. I mean,
did you practice that in Spanish? Porque no está tan fácil soltarla así como la dejaste ir en inglés.
Miren, es que ustedes no saben que yo iba a ser maestra de español.
Oh, vámonos pues.
Ok.
Dijo mi papá, fuga.
No solo lo leo, también lo hablo, lo puedo escribir con el tilde y todo lo que quieran. Y si quieren también, una vez alguien me estaba insultando en inglés y luego they were going back and forth in Spanish, and I was like, listen, Hodrat, we can do this in Spanish. We can do it in English. We could even do it in Italian and Pig Latin if you want. So bring it. Okay.
I remember. Yeah, I mean,
we remember.
Hey,
we remember.
If you want to do it in Spanish, that's perfectly fine. I mean,
no, for sure, 100%.
I don't even know where I would start.
Okay, yeah, that's what I figured.
Okay.
I think I'm already in the joke.
After.
Yeah, we'll do a clip and we'll post it.
We can kind of, prep for it or whatever.
I'm like laughing already up. Like, it's like we've gone to like a different emotion already. I don't know that I can go back. I can move forward. I don't know that I can go back. Yeah. But anyways, we can do it in Spanish.
Let's move forward.
Let's move forward.
We'll make a clip.
Well, we're probably going to get you angry now. You want to show her one of the clips?
Oh, yeah.
So wait, what are we doing?
So we're reacting to some TikToks that we found or the For You page or whatnot. Might strike up a conversation between all three of us. Might get us upset, might make us laugh, might make us cry. So this is one. And if you're listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, I'll put the clip.
Men don't need women. Women need men. Men could survive without women. If all the women disappeared tomorrow, men would be fine outside of reproduction. Women need men. If tomorrow they made artificial wombs, what would they need a woman for? Who's a better companion, men or women? So men built the world. All the hard jobs are done by men. If men disappeared tomorrow, society would collapse. Men built the world that we complain about.
Arguably, one of the driving forces for men doing what they do is women.
Is women.
I think men built this world for women.
What I'm saying is men could survive without women. Because men can be alone, women can't. Women are social beings. We need attention. And men don't. You don't see women going out to the woods and just roughing it. That's a man thing. Who's camping and fishing? It's not us.
Who hurt you?
I thought you were going to agree with her.
No.
Oh, baby.
No?
Come on.
So how do you feel about
Wow.
that? What do you think?
I think that's really sad. Like, I really do feel like, who hurt her? Because when you're getting to the point that you can completely put down your own gender, she's a woman at the end of the day. So what is she trying to, that would be my question. Like, what is it? What conversation are you actually trying to spark? And what is it what's your point? Clearly, humanity could not advance without cis males and, cis presenting women. Like, obviously a reproductive, but I mean, and she's right.
The artificial womb. She did mention that.
Well, right. So that's where I was going. So like, clearly, like, we've gotten to a point where we can go through IVF and things like that. And, actual physical intercourse isn't needed, but you still need a part of a man and a part of a woman. Now, when you're talking about a womb, okay, you could have an artificial womb, but where are you going to get the eggs and so to think about it in a sense, I mean, it's just ridiculous and it's sad. And I feel bad for her.
She did say a lot of right shit though. Like we did build this shit.
Oh,
Not me personally.
I mean, let's break it down, right? When
Like all the hard jobs, right?
What hard jobs? Why? Because women were not allowed.
But they're not doing it still now.
Huh?
Like, how often do you see them doing like the roads? I mean,
Do
you
you
see them
know
holding
how-
the sign, but
Do you know what is and what is not permitted?
no, I didn't know. I thought we were all equal. That's what
Huh?
everybody keeps saying we're equal.
Everybody keeps saying that we're equal, but
Pero
yet
no.
you keep hearing people that they still want equality. Women are still not getting paid, penny for penny what a man is getting paid. And let's not even get into the fact of brown women, black women, to a white man, to a brown man, to
But
a
let's
black
not even
man.
talk about the money part of it. Let's just talk about the labor part of it.
Well, right. Well, that's where I'm going. So when you have not been allowed, okay, what happened in this country when all of the men were drafted to the war? Who ran this country?
Well, it wasn't running at all. It was more
Huh?
like a standstill.
How were the men getting all of the things?
Okay.
That's facts, though.
I feel
That's
so.
facts.
Going
So,
back to the video, I'm gonna say that we need each other. That's
Right.
what I'm. A lot of
Yes, of
jokes,
course.
but I feel like we need each other, right?
Yes.
But I do feel like there's a lot of things that like
what?
what I just said, like the concrete work. You think they could do it?
Okay.
Like all the heavy labor?
I helped run a construction company for over 10 years. And let me tell you that those labor unions will not allow a woman to do a whole lot more than hold a flag.
Why? Really?
What? Yeah.
That's true.
They won't let them. So I'm sorry, but there are a lot of maybe perhaps physically you will see a woman's stature and their frame that you could say, oh, well, she's too like tiny. Like there's no way her frame could lift or would lend itself to be able to lift like however many pounds or whatever.
But you don't think that's by God's design,
Okay,
though?
sir.
Like that's
Have you not seen some of these men out there on these crews? They're like this big. It's like leg day. What leg day? No leg day. They've never done leg day in their life. Or like older men. There's the older men on the crew, like grandpa 3 times over. I know you've seen these crews with viejitos on there. You're going to tell me that man is more physically able and capable than a younger woman?
Yes.
Because there are larger women. There are very muscular women, bigger women that they're on construction crews and they're still holding this flipping flag. You're going to tell me that and even I can hold.
I don't know. It's hard work.
Yeah, no,
it's
it
hard
is.
work. I don't know, and you need a lot of
You need a lot of what?
a lot of force. Yeah, I don't think it is. We're not the same. It's not the same. It can't be.
Not across the board, not for every person, but are there women that are very capable and able? Yes, but they're still not going to be allowed. They're not going to
I
be
don't know
allowed on a
about that.
crew.
I didn't know about that.
Well, yeah, when it comes to union, I don't know. But are there some women that are able and capable of doing this? Yes, some, not the majority. Can most men probably do the construction jobs? More than likely. So in that aspect, yes, men are more capable of doing labor work than women.
And we just went to construction.
Yeah, we're talking about construction.
Right,
Yeah,
so
That's just
Where does
one.
your
That's
head-
just one.
So your head automatically goes to a more physically intensive.
I'm sticking to the subject that of construction. Now,
Right,
for
but
me
you
to go
brought up
back, for me to go.
construction.
He brought up.
Yeah, I
he
did.
brought up labor.
That was the first thing that came to mind. That was like physical. I was like, yeah, that's hard.
But before we move on to something else or another one that you want to touch, like overall on that video, yeah, I think she's fucking nuts. I would still want not only a woman to reproduce and whatnot. I mean, you also want a companion. So she's fucking nuts, bro. There's no way I can just lay with someone and that's it. And then you still need that companionship. You know what I mean? There's a different type of companionship that you get from a woman than you would from like one of your guys or whatever. You know what I mean?
Correct.
That's completely different. So she's nuts on that. Where guys don't need women, we do. I mean, unless you're gay, then whatever, right? You don't really care for it. But
Yeah, you need a companion. I think women and men traditionally we need each other.
100%.
You need to work together. And like you said, I can do, like my husband, you guys know he works a lot, he travels a lot. I manage my home. I take care of my home. And I have to, because if he's not around, what am I going to do? Sit there, and we've talked about this before. Like the grass needs to get cut, like the garbage needs to get taken out, gas needs to be put in the car, something breaks, like my kid drops
all those things that you mentioned are not like hard labor.
But okay, but I'm not talking about hard labor. I'm talking about a relationship between a man and a woman and what goes on day to day.
Oh, of course.
If I just said, "Oh my God, I need a man," I would just sit there and what would I do? You know, if something breaks down in my house, if there's an emergency, I better buckle down. Like my kid dropped her, she wears these special lenses down the sink. Those things are expensive, all right? They're like $300 a pop. Okay. And I was like, shut the water, grab the wrench, take the whatever, I don't know what they're called, but I took that tubing. Yep. I took those pipes apart. I had a drain on the bottom. I drained it and I sifted through all of that shit to rescue her.
Did you find it?
Yes, I did. And I knew how to clean it afterwards too, that it was sanitary enough for her to wear. So you have to figure, like, am I capable? Am I able? Heck yes. However, I also like to, and I know he likes to be needed. And so when he's around, he likes to do things for me because he's around and he wants to help and alleviate those things. But would he not be there? Can I handle it and take care of it myself? You better believe I can. I will.
So if we were to disappear, y'all are gonna survive. Is what you're saying?
I think,
because that's what she was saying.
I think we would.
Yeah.
Because you adapt, and if women were to disappear, men would adapt. It's not like, oh my God, will you be sad? I mean, you miss your companion if you had a companion, but independently, men will adapt, and so will women. I mean, there have been groups and tribes of women across the United States. Is not like an island all on its own. There are other communities, tribes, or places all over the world where you have thriving communities of just women that are hunting and gathering and doing just fine without men. And those communities exist out there. No men. And they're just fine.
Name one.
I don't know it off the top of my head. I mean, I know things.
I didn't think that you would.
I will look for it for you, but there are very capable communities of just women across the world. And there are. I know it's Paula knows something, so I know a little bit about a lot. I don't know a lot about a lot.
What we do know is probably Amazon's delivering packages, and it's probably a guy delivering it. Wherever the village is.
Oh my God. No, sir. Okay, so you guys know I love Halloween, right? No bullshit. You guys know I love Halloween. You know how much I love Halloween. I've been hunting this freaking 12-foot skeleton for the last 2 years. Anyways, finally got my hand on one of these suckers. This box is 90 pounds. It is humongous. I'll show you guys a picture. Huge box, 90 pounds. Guess who delivered it?
A girl?
A woman. She carried that shit off the truck. She did not drag it across, but she carried that sucker and placed it on my front step. I had a separate box that was 40 pounds. Also huge, like 8-foot situation. So let me tell you. A man delivered it. He dropped it off in front of the driveway. You guys have been to my house. There's a difference. Front step, the driveway. That guy like, ugh. And I was right there because I was like, I saw him delivering. I was like, I want to kind of scoot it away and not let it out in the open. I was like, sir, you are going to break the situation. I have been hunting this down for 2 years and I'll break it. Like all tore up the cardboard at the bottom. Man delivered it. This woman delivered my box perfectly intact. And I have Ring video to prove it.
We're going to have to see that, bro. We're going to have to add that on to it. We'll add it. We'll move on. You had anything else for that?
No, we'll move on.
Conclusion, we need each other for sure. 100%.
Yes, 100%. Dude. I love my husband.
All right, here's the next one.
This will make you mad. 8 LA County Sheriff stood next to Kobe Bryant and his dog.
It gets worse. According to the sketches of Gianni's autopsy report, there was no brain matter found in her skull. As a result of dragging in the gruesome crash, her spine went through her skull and brutally damaged the entire body to the point it was completely unrecognizable. And these motherfuckers took pictures next to her body. Are you kidding me? And these are first responders. Can you imagine if this was your kid? Gianna also lost her foot and shin, and her lower abdomen was completely ripped apart. The girl was decapitated, and these motherfuckers took pictures with her dead body next to them. And I hope the court awards the Bryant family of so much punitive damages that them motherfuckers' kids is gonna still be paying for that damn lawsuit, because that's some fucked up shit.
That's disgusting.
I'm sure you knew this, right?
I I saw that she was just awarded, so I heard of the news, but I hadn't.
The 16 mil.
The fact that those details even have to be out there for the wife, the mom, and the other people. Let's remember there were also other people on that plane.
Yeah.
For them to have to read it, that because when there's a lawsuit, like certain things have to be made public. The fact that shit had to be made public because of what these first responders did, that is disgusting.
And the pictures are out there.
Oh, the pictures are out too?
The pictures are out
no.
there. That's what she's, from what I read, is that she's fighting for them to, I mean, she got awarded her money, or is about to get awarded or whatever.
She got awarded 16 mil. She donated it to, who?
I think I'm sure they have money, but to that extent, like
16 mil?
I mean, I'm sure they did it to prove a point, but like she's not going to get, and there's other families too. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. That's disgusting.
She said she was donating to the foundation.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure like she doesn't need it.
Yeah, she does. It was more of a, like a point. Like,
yeah. You were saying?
But supposedly, yeah, they took these pictures and they're actually out on the internet. I don't know if it's like TMZ got a hold of them or something like that. That's how. But point is that once it's on the internet, it's on there. It's hard to take anything down. I mean, you could take like TMZ or whoever put them up or whatever website can take them down, but after that, it already
they're probably in the dark web.
It already got duplicated.
I didn't know that.
Went out.
I thought that these guys took it and were showing it amongst their other firefighter.
I mean, they did.
And
they did
ambulance, whatever buddies. I thought they were showing each other. I didn't know that somebody actually like posted it somewhere. That's
I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
that's vile. Like everyone who was involved, like, should literally rot in hell. You don't. How is it that you're given, like, people in the community, like, they count on first responders to be there during the worst moments of their lives, and then that's what they do because he's famous, so their dignity, like that all goes out the window because I heard that they were like taking selfies, or is that like
they were taking selfies,
right? Like with the remain. That is vile.
And they were saying it's that their chief or whatever was requesting the pictures.
No.
Then the or whatever they're called, right? Sergeants, chiefs. I don't know what the actual term is or whatever.
But probably the crash, not with
the thing is, the chief, sergeant, whatever, said he never requested pictures. So this was just on them.
But I'm sure, like, I'm sure that there have to be pictures, like, for the accident investigation, like for any accident.
But that's like
I think
police.
they take scene pictures, or maybe for the coroner. Like, I think they do have to.
They have a crew for that.
Yeah, like I think they do have to, like, but not like on your personal cell phone.
Exactly.
Where you're like, taking a picture. That's disgusting.
It's going to be a detective, and they got they got like people for it. It's not going to be like you said, a first responder that is going to go and take pictures. Like, why?
Yeah, on their phone. That's vile. That's disgusting. Like, that is karma. That is karma.
Huge karma
for those people. Like, do you guys remember back in there? Maybe you guys are younger than me. Maybe you don't.
Not
remember.
that much younger.
I'm 40. How old are you guys?
We're 35.
I can't say that.
Huh?
Can't say my age.
I'm 35 then.
Well, the only reason
we're 35. I am 35.
Well, maybe you guys hadn't seen it because you guys were on the younger side. So back when the internet first started, isn't that crazy that we could say that? Back when the internet first started,
dial up.
Because like we lived in an era. Well, I lived in an era
no internet,
where there was no internet. Anyway, so back when the internet first started and websites started kind of popping up, and I don't know how, like, you started discovering. Anyways, there was this website called rotten.com.
Okay.
It was, and who told me about that site? Somebody, so it was basically like this site where I think like I have a feeling that the dark web, probably some of the shit on the dark web, like, probably stemmed from that site. There was like, supposedly that there were pictures on there for people, like celebrities that had passed, that coroners took and then sold to whoever, and they were putting supposedly pictures of Tupac were on there, Selena were on there, I think Kurt, or no, I can't remember who, but like recent like celebrities that had passed around that like 90 something, early 2000 era, or no,
right around there.
right around that era, that they had them on there, and that's all you would kind of hear around, like, you know, before, like, everybody, you know, couldn't text or whatever. So that was like the word on the curb. Like there was a site out there, and I remember it was called, right, because it always stuck with me, because, like, you know, Selena's death, it was like big to us.
Of course,
and there was like this rumor, but of course, you know, none of us really. Internet was expensive. It was dial up.
Yeah.
Net zero.
Yeah, so you couldn't really. And can you imagine? You had like one computer in the house, and that like you're looking up this crazy shit. And then like your family, because the computer wasn't in your room. It was like usually like in the sala or something. Yeah. So I was always like, you know, you always have that curiosity, but I was like, yeah, that's one thing I don't
right now that you said about the whole dark web, I legit, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm reminiscing like of what, like how when I went on the internet, I think that's legit. Like
no,
how
there is a thing.
No, I'm saying like how it, like the internet was not, I guess, filtered. It was just like it probably was the dark web, and then they introduced Google and all that sort of stuff, where it's like more filtered or whatever, and then that's how they have the dark web. But I remember, what was it, like downloading sites and whatnot?
LimeWire,
Napster.
I never got to use Napster.
Kaza was one of them.
And then you fucked up your computer for everybody
else.
Then let's say you downloaded like this album that was gonna take like 2 hours, and then you messed up your computer, and
it took longer than that though. It took sometimes but sometimes it took a whole night.
Yeah,
I'll say a whole day. Yeah. So I remember I was like, I'm gonna download, and it was Eminem. Eminem was popping back then. He still is. He's a GOAT. So I was downloading an album, and the amount of time that it was going to take was, I guess, like, to me, it was like, oh, it's legit, because that's how long an album normally takes. Whatever the amount of time is. I don't even know what it is anymore, you know? But I was like, oh, okay, Eminem, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, that's legit. It normally takes X amount of time. Downloaded it, whatever. I'm like waiting. I'm like, yeah, I'll be back. I'm going to come back. Dude.
That was a badass movie.
Oh, that would happen, because it would disguise like these nasty things under like popular albums, so they wouldn't. I'm assuming maybe so they wouldn't get caught, or
probably.
And other sick people knew the code or whatever, and that's how they would. And then you're innocently trying to download like Eminem's album, and then you're like, surprise.
And I'm over here like, oh, I just came up because the album just dropped.
It came up all right. That never
something
happened
came up and then something dropped.
Something dropped. That's disgusting.
That's crazy.
Whoa. Yeah, no, I do remember that. But no, yeah, like it was. You're right. It was like the Wild Wild West. Like it was just open, and you had like, and I totally believe that they probably had like the sickest stuff on there.
Oh, it was disgusting.
I was just too much.
And like you said, it probably wasn't filtered back then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so it really kind of was like the dark web. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't filtered. But right now that I'm kind of still reminiscing, and now no more dark web. No more dark web.
He remembers the movie. I bet if you ask him later one more time.
Did you save it?
Huh?
That's like a hard drive you still have.
That's what caused the virus. And
God.
Shout out to the girls, Cynthia and Diana, chingonas.
Hello, shout out.
They recorded one time, and I wanted to bring it up. I forgot who else was on the pod, because they had an episode. This was a while back. In other words, like talking about older stuff that happened or on the internet and whatnot. Did you ever get on the party line?
Yes.
And they were talking about it, and they had no idea what it was.
What?
Because somebody, it was like one of those like where like.
Oh wait, no, I do remember
that episode.
Yeah.
So people were like, I forgot. I don't know if they asked for something. Like people were like sending stuff, like messages on Instagram or something. I forgot, or maybe it was on the call. And they were like, "Oh, the party line." They're like, "What the fuck is a party line?" Like Cynthia and Diana didn't know. And I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "You don't know about the party line?" I'm like, but they are younger than us, so
they're younger. Man, I used to get on there. That was used to
too.
Just get on there to hear people fight, and then you would move to the different rooms, and people were trying to like hook up. Well, hook up now means different than hook up
That was like the
Yeah, we're
first.
trying to meet people.
Yeah, hook
Yeah,
up
yeah,
and like
that
let's
was-
link up. Let's meet here. So
Yeah,
you were
yeah,
saying let's hook up. Like wow, So they were trying to like let's meet. And oh yes, you sound sexy. Like where you be by, and and then you hear some game hanger coming in. Whatever. Like what you be about? Whatever. And then they're like calling out their block and then
Yeah,
you're
I
like quiet
remember all
like
this.
oh. And then if you recognize somebody's voice or you
Yeah.
knew whoever like their nickname, this is Smiley from whatever block. And you're like, oh, I know him. And
I was gonna ask, what was
was
your party line nickname thing?
I don't think I think I was just a lurker. I think I would just listen. I wasn't trying to talk.
Stop lying.
No, I don't know. I
Why you had a
seriously didn't
name
have one.
on the party line?
You had to. No, you didn't have to,
Like
but you would make yourself like little like nicknames, like because I think you had like an outbox type of thing, right? Or people can like they would go. I forgot how it worked.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
like you had like a message box. So like when you called in, you got to like how like in a beeper you left like a message on the voicemail, like a voicemail box.
Yeah.
So when you called in, so every time you called in, it was different, right?
Yeah.
So I think you called in and you said, hi, this is Smiley from,
So we know
from
she was
around
good.
the way.
So that's what it was. It was Smiley then.
It's from around the whatever. And then, so then you would go into different, like, chat rooms,
Yeah,
like
I
different
remember
rooms
that.
or whatever. And then if somebody, like, wanted to talk to you or what, they would leave a message in your
on
box.
your, on your
right?
inbox thing. Yeah.
You remember that? I don't remember that.
I remember that.
I just remember dialing in and like connecting. I don't remember that
Oh,
part. No, you would just connect.
Stop
and then
capping, bro.
No, and then if you wanted to
Chanilo from LA.
if you wanted to connect with somebody separate, like there was another. Hey, like there's too much drama here. Let's go to another
Yes,
room.
it's another room.
Yeah, I remember that. But since you're reminiscing, y'all remember Chalino.com?
I knew. Yeah. I remember that. I remember that.
Did you talk about
Chanilo, and then there was like
Chalino.
Lale. Yeah, and then they had Lale.
They gotta
I know
turn you
what
off.
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna edit out. Okay.
Chalino.com. I
No
was in
edit.
there.
No edit.
No, I
No
know
edit.
what
I was
it is.
in there, bro.
Fuck you guys.
I was in there for sure.
Did you ever go into Lale?
Yes.
Lale had like a
Oh,
like
the
a
chat room.
Yeah.
Yes, that
I did go
remember.
to Lale. Yeah.
Yahoo had a big one. Yahoo, it was like where everybody would go was the Yahoo chat room before there were any. It was AOL had one was kind of weak. The AIM, remember AIM?
Oh, I remember him. Yeah.
But it was kind of weak. So everybody, it was popping on Yahoo. It was a party line. It was a Yahoo chat room. But then you had like then Lale started to catch on like local. I'm sure it was different other places, but like local, and that's where you would go.
But how old were we, man? Because when I was on the party line, I was probably like 13, bro.
I was say 13,
I was
14.
in high school.
13,
Yeah, 'cause
14.
the
Yeah, so
internet.
we were like super young.
I was like 7th, 8th grade when Oregon Trail, like we first started
14.
to get computers in the classrooms that we had access, and they started teaching you how to use computers, and then they started teaching you how to use the internet, but that never happened because it never worked. So then you started getting the CDs mailed to your house from AOL that you do the thing
to
and
connect.
interrupt your phone line, and that was around I don't know, I was maybe late high school when that started to become a little bit normalized. But all throughout there, I used the encyclopedia to do any work done. There was no
See, but yeah,
internet.
but like we were just kids, dude. Like no sabemos qué rollo, like what kind of dumb shit were we typing on there, like
so
know?
stupid.
Oh, like on
We're
the chats?
lucky.
Yeah, like just like I'm pretty sure there was older girls on there, and we're like 12 years old. Like, hey, what's up? Like I'm 17. Like shut
No.
your ass up.
Like, no,
We're
you're
Like
not.
we dumb as hell,
that
bro.
the internet wasn't forever back then.
Yeah.
Yes.
When
Yeah,
the
it's
internet
true.
was new for us,
yeah.
we are so, because you're right. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't understand the ramifications of putting things out there or doing things on the internet because it was new. You didn't know. What is this? Like, who are we really reaching? What weirdos? Let me tell you a quick story. So, internet, right? I had my sister and my younger cousin trying to talk. I don't know. I think there was like a Yahoo chat room for where we lived in like from our town in Mexico. And so they hopped on there and they're like, they're using my picture because they were way younger. So they were trying to talk to guys or just trying to mess with guys or whatever. So they started talking to these guys. And so apparently at some point I'm in these relationships with these dudes that I have no clue. So I'm then going to school on the train. And because it's all local, these people can find you.
Yeah.
I had a dude with an ankle monitor from Calumet, and I still remember mailing me shit to my house, pictures of himself, and I was like, "What is this?" And then,
But when you say pictures of himself, you
like actually
normal, right? Like a normal picture.
not
Just
like
because right now pictures of yourself means a totally different thing.
Se sacó like
Yeah.
pictures, went to
A cholo
Walgreens,
picture.
print them out, like wrote me this letter and mailed it to my house.
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm
back.
like,
That's back then. That's older people would say, Jesus Christ, I drew a blank. Sanamente, like algo sano. You know what I mean? Like
not really, because I mean, okay. So
what I'm saying is like he didn't send you a picture of himself naked. You know what I mean?
No.
Like now. Kids are doing that. Like kids are sending a picture real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
this,
and our parents would be like, oh, like, si salíamos al cine sanamente, like we would hold hands. Like that was a thing right there. Like, oh, we held hands today. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But it was weird. This guy was like way older. He was an ex-con. He was home on house arrest.
I mean, your cousins probably lied, bro. Your cousins probably said, yeah, I'm 20.
Who knows, right?
Yeah.
And one time I'm like headed to downtown on the train, and I see this guy come like, hey, like he knows me, and I'm like, hey, trying to hold my hand, and I'm like, the fuck is who are you? He knows my name. He knows where I'm going. And he followed me to my college. I was going to school. He followed me. And then he tells me, and I was like, I didn't understand what was going on. And I was like so stupid and intimidated. And I'm like, oh, hi. And he's like, well, give me your phone, because he knew I was going to run away. And as soon as and I was like, I can't give you my phone. I don't know who you are. And he knew everything about me.
Your cousins set you up.
That's not the first day. It was a total setup. I had two
shout them out?
crazy ass people. Fucking Paula, I could have been abducted.
That's crazy. Why would your cousins do that, bro?
Because they were young and dumb.
Yeah.
They were children.
My wife told me that she was on Yahoo when they were young. If she's younger than me, so that, you know what I mean? Like that means she had no business on the end. You know, why would you be chatting
on a chat?
But she's like, yeah, we were trying to act like we were older, like, 18 years old. I'm like, bro, she was probably like 12,
Yeah, no, that was like, I was totally put in like a very dangerous situation. But again, because we didn't know the power of the internet, nobody knew. Like, they probably never thought, oh, he's gonna go and
that's crazy.
Meet her up.
But that is crazy. That's crazy. But right now, when you said like how it's like it's local and you can run into these people, especially back then, bro, that happened to me. So I'm over here trying to. No. Back then.
Oh,
Yeah. So I'm on one of these chats or whatever, right? And then like I come across, because like these pictures too, and then, like shitty ass fucking computers that we have. You
had to take the picture, print it. If you had to find a scanner,
right?
Do you remember to get it on the computer? Wild.
So these pictures are like crappy. The monitors are probably not good. Or not even obviously not HD, whatever. So I just kind of see this like whatever this person. I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks like I'm gonna slide in the DMs. You know what I mean? I'm over here trying to talk to her. Bro, this whole time I'm talking to her, and it was someone that I knew from school.
Oh, snap.
And I was like, bro, she does not look like that though, like in real life. I'm like, this bitch invented filters, bro. Like, she was completely different, like face and body, completely different.
But she was
bro.
Also a kid.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Dude, catfishing. Okay.
It was, yeah.
Dude, early catfishing, before we even knew catfishing was like the word. Did you see that documentary? I didn't watch it. My husband was watching it, and I was like doing stuff around the house, and I was kind of catching parts of it. That man, and I'm going to screw up his name, Mantiteo. He was a football player. He was one of the first people to ever get catfished that we found out about publicly.
Yes.
He was like this big football player, very like conservative family. And this guy catfished him with a picture of a girl that he knew. And he's like, having this relationship with this girl, he thinks, this woman, for 2 years. And then when it all blew up and if the world found out, they made fun of this poor guy. Like his
wasn't it like
totally
a Samoan guy?
Career. Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, I think I
It's
remember
it's like a little mini thing, not mini documentary, like 1 episode or 2 episode thing on Netflix.
Yeah, I saw it.
It's crazy, but oh my god, like talk about like the beginnings of catfishing. Yes, yeah, because I do remember the girls showed me the picture of the guy that they were talking to. It was a tear out from a magazine, a guy in his underwear. It was like a male model in his underwear, like Calvin Klein or whatever. And I still remember it was this black and white picture. I was like, pendeja. I was like, really? You honestly thought you were talking to this guy?
But you're a kid. Yeah. They were probably like 12, 13. You know what I mean?
You should have seen what showed up on that train. That was not that.
That was not that.
Okay. If it would have been that, I would have been like, hey, it was not that. Okay. It was terrifying what showed up. I was like surprised that I was not like whisked away in a white panel van.
That's terrible.
It was awful.
Oh man. All right, so we're gonna wrap this up.
All right, bet.
We're gonna wrap this up. Before we kick it on to you, we have a giveaway.
Yes.
Thanks to El Compa Alex. That's all he wants us to say, right?
Yes.
He's like, don't expose me.
The benefactor.
Yeah.
He is a listener and I guess our sponsor. He's gonna be giving us little items here and there to he wants us to grow our channel. He believes in us and he's like, I want you guys to hit that 1,000. So shout out to El Compa Alex, man.
Shout out.
And he's like, I'm gonna keep giving you guys stuff, like give it away, just to grow the channel. So we were going to kind of go back and forth, like what can we do? Obviously our TikTok following went up a little bit, and it's thanks to you. And so I was like, man, how can we incorporate it? I'm like, the only thing I can honestly do because of settings, privacy, and todo eso, I'm like, take a screenshot. I'm gonna have Paula pick a number.
All right.
5 to 10.
Okay.
Between 5 and 10. Any number right now.
6.
6. The first 6 people to take a screenshot that you subscribe to Compas Unfiltered on YouTube will be entered into a little raffle. And then you get the camera. That was simple. Instead of making it complicated or whatever. And we're going to make a little video for TikTok, But, and yeah, I think that's what we're going to do for this giveaway. We have more coming, according to the Compa Alex. He said he's willing to give us some more stuff. He wants us to get to 1,000, so let's hit that 1,000, hopefully.
Let's go hit it.
But besides this, you got anything, Compa, before we...
No, sir.
No? Thank you, Paula.
Thank you guys
for coming
having
on the pod.
me.
We appreciate you. You got any last words, anything that you want to...
No, thank you for having me. I'm excited. Halloween episode coming up.
Halloween episode. We got to do it. We got to do it.
Let me tell you, pretty soon I'm hoping to get the ball rolling again. I have some fun stuff planned and I'm getting together. So hopefully, my stuff I'll get it together soon, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll roll up. We'll roll up to do one. We did it last time.
Yeah, no,
and it was a fun one. So
huh? Yeah, and remember?
It was fun. It was a good one. It was a good episode. It was a good episode.
Remember?
It went perfectly with the story that you were telling, right?
We were talking about convicts, like escaping and going to people, and then there was boom, thunder. We're like, what the hell?
Yeah. Go check out that episode if you have not. So, but we definitely got to go back in October.
No, thank you. I just want to say thanks for having me.
For sure. So that's it. This is Compas Unfiltered. Thank you guys for listening, for watching. Make sure you subscribe, follow our social media. Peace.